card, and I just made it call. We gon' start another war. Yeah.
They put millions of my Should a murderer go to jail for murdering?
Absolutely.
Should a thief go to jail when he steals?
Absolutely.
Should a robber pay back the money he robbed?
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. Payback is a dog. Payback is a dog. Payback is a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me, maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Cracking the sky, nuclear missiles are making it official. I'm capturing every crack and surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cages, safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the brutal show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. Payback is a dog. Payback is a dog. Payback is a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood cell. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit a Lord, fuck the cocktail. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback to bitch in a dress. She a bombshell, just dish served cold. I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. Devils design fire for our babies to pass through it. And the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. Payback is a dog.
I got big ring, you mad, get stained, work hard, then play, bad bitch, my taste, we vibe, we lay, you purple, you gay, elite ass, lil' fame, on wall, got the same, 4-0, 4-0, these people, 4-0, I try to tell these motherfuckers time, 4-0, pussy ass, purple ass nigga, man, 4-0, get your born ass right, niggas better get their weight up, you little body bitch. Worry about damn pay cut, you little body bitch. I ain't worried about none of these niggas.
Rock. How about Shimmy Outside Thumb? How about Shimmy Outside Thumb? Please, siéntate. Please be seated. Clap it up, Akim. Let's get it on. The Water Warriors, good to see you tonight here in headquarters, Harlem, New York, Jerusalem. We'll get it on. I'll answer all of your questions, solve all of your problems. No problem at all. Fight all of your battles. I'm very confrontational. So if anyone would like a confrontation, of course, that's why I'm here. Everyone understands, all right? So we'll rock it out tonight. Also, we'll go into our topics tonight. Tonight, we will try to explain the aggression of our oppressor. The aggression, their natural aggression that they've had since Cain. They've had this aggression. This aggression will be on full display when Donald Trump's presidency begins. The aggression that many times the Christian church, because of your Black and Hispanic pastors, they have had a path to hide the white man's aggression. They've had a way to mask it. They mask it with Christianity. They mask it with American exceptionalism. They mask it with gentrification, with making your neighborhood better, with, you being stronger, with teaching you how to be independent and pull yourself up by your bootstraps. They mask their natural aggression that they have in every season, in every way, and it's what they use with every problem. I'm going to approve that tonight. Also, we'll go into Black women's hair. We'll go into it tonight, right? I'll try to explain the historical controversy with the differences between Black and Hispanic women's hair and the hair of our oppressor, and how much and what the type of low self-esteem that has been pushed on our women because they don't look like white women. Do you understand? The same way, and men, I know you felt this your entire life because you don't have the money that white men have. You're not able to put your families in the type of homes that white people can put their families in. And so this emasculates you. This makes you feel like you're less of a man because you're not able to go buy one of those expensive homes in California that are now charcoal because you could not live there, because you couldn't afford to put your family in that home. You sell drugs and you feel emasculated. You feel like you're not an earner. You watch these videos of these white men who are high value men who earn all of this money and you feel emasculated by it. That's by design. That's on purpose. Well, I'm going to explain to you another point of view about what sisters have been through, about what women have been through their entire lives. And I'm telling you about, I have documents of this going back, my God, till the 1600s. Right. That's how far this goes back, about how women don't feel feminine because they don't look like white women. Our Hispanic women don't feel feminine because they're not built like white women are built, because they don't look like white women. Our Black women don't feel feminine because their hair is not like white women. I'm going to show you some proof on it. Also, I need that precept. Everything should be too out now, sir. Good Scotch headquarters. Give them a hand. My goodness. Is this about, why does it taste better every time? I bet you it's the same Scotch. It tastes better in Harlem. It just tastes better in Harlem. My goodness, so much One West on this Scotch. There's so much One West on this Scotch. I don't know what to do about it. All right. I'll give him a hand. For water. I'm going to follow that order. I'm going to obey. For water. Go ahead, Art. What's the first question? Am I good? I'm good with the sound, right?
Concert, surrogacy.
No problem. Surrogacy. I'm assuming she means a woman that has a baby for another woman. I mean, that's a rare thing in the Black and Hispanic community because usually we're having so many babies, we don't know what to do with them. But if you're asking me simply, can you have a baby? I'm assuming in vitro fertilization or some type of expensive thing that white women do. It's not unlawful. So if you would like to do it, you can. However, let me give you some suggestions. There are so many children in the Black and Hispanic community that need parents. There's a lot of them. So now if I was thinking about having a child for someone else, I would really consider, if I was the person who needed a surrogate, if I was the person that was a husband of a wife who could not have children, I would absolutely explore being a foster parent or being an adoptive parent to one of these children, brother, because our oppressor and these LGBT relationships, they're adopting our children. These women who are LGBT are adopting our children, and coincidentally, the children they adopt don't know what sex they are. They don't know what gender they are. Rosie O'Donnell has, I think, 3 kids, all of them gay. All of them gay. Now, in her mind, does she think that's a coincidence? Well, you're going to raise a gay child because the parents are gay, and really what you think is sexuality is just a child trying to mimic what they see around the house. That's all it is. You can choose someone's sexuality up. It's not difficult. In your mind, sexuality is like hardwired into your brain. So if you're attracted to the same sex, you think, oh, this is how I was born. Come on, look at your environment, man. Look at what you watch on TV, your internet, the things you saw your mother do, the same things you saw your father do. Some oppressor chose your sexual preference. They chose it for you. Well, with that in mind, if you can't have children, Lord knows we need mothers out here. We need them. The children are here. The children are stocked up in these foster care, in the foster care system. The children are sitting there needing parents. So if you need a child, you don't have to go create one in a test tube. They're sitting right there in the foster care system waiting for you to walk through the door and save their lives. So now, if you want to do it, it's lawful, but there is another route. Everyone understands. All right, go ahead.
Sluggish, sir. Do you recall the recent story where there was an LGBTQ couple that adopted children, and it turned out they were just raping them every day?
How did I forget? I did not send that one to you. I totally slipped my mind. What the warrior is saying is absolutely true. These two oppressors, these two men They were LGBT. They went and they're adopting children, and they're adopting the children and sexually assaulting the children. Now, come on now. And what did you think was going to happen when you have a ton of deviants who have money? You're a good person and you're kind, but you don't have money. They're a sexual deviant and they have all the money in the world. So they're going to get all the children that they want. So if you actually want a child and you have the means to take care of one, the child is waiting on you. Everybody understands? Please.
I found out about that story this week. It was a Christian adoption agency that.
I'm not surprised. Well said. Go ahead. Bien dicho. Go ahead.
Sir, Officer Kharia asked, Shalom, sir, where's the land in this verse? Isaiah 18:1, woe to the land shadowing with wings, which is beyond the rivers of Ethiopia.
Say it one more time.
Woe to the land shadowing with wings, which is beyond the rivers of Ethiopia.
Ooh, I'm about 80% sure, but I can't quite recall enough to teach it. I want to say it's Babylon, but I cannot verify that. All right. I can't verify that. Let me just check with Commandant General Yohana before I teach it. Okay. Please. Paciencia. Go ahead.
Brother asks, Salakia, sir, if you could lend me your wisdom,
please.
Can you break down Solomon 1 and 6 through 8, Baba Shah, the water?
No problem. Go ahead and read it, please.
Khan.
I'll slide this to the side just so I can see the brothers, all right?
Solomon, chapter 1, verse 6. Look not upon me, because I am black, because the sun had looked up upon me.
What was this particular question about this? Seemed like you said that. Seemed like you said a question. Go ahead.
You just asked for a breakdown.
Okay, read it again, please.
Khan. Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 6.
So what you might need first is to understand what the Song of Solomon is. The Song of Solomon is a love song. So just think about an old school R&B love song. That's what this is. It's the Song of Solomon. The difference is that it's a love song that's not a duet, but I don't know what you would call it, with one man and multiple women. It's a song between one man and multiple women. So it's like a chorus. It's one man singing to his wives and his wives singing back to him. And it's so heavy. There's jealousy in the Song of Solomon. There's one verse where his wives talk about how they're going to be jealous if he goes and gets another woman, which is so heavy if you understand having multiple wives, because multiple wives will still feel like you're cheating on them if you get another wife. You get my point? They start to become a crew, right? And then if you go look at another woman, all of them look at you like, what in the hell are you doing getting another woman, cheating on us? And it's so interesting to me on how women think, right? In the Song of Solomon, that's in the Song of Solomon, where these women talk about how he's going around this new girl. He over there in her garden, and he's checking her out and spending time with her, and they don't like it. And they're going to be jealous, and this jealousy might cause them to hurt somebody. And that's in the Song of Solomon. If you look up the word jealousy, I can read it for you. All you need to know is this is a love song. This is one part of the love song, and I will explain it to you. Go ahead.
Verse 6. Look not upon me, because I am black.
This is Solomon saying, don't look at me because I am black. Solomon is talking about how he looks. He's very dark. Solomon was a very dark-skinned man. Kadar. Keep going.
Khan. Because the sun had looked upon me.
Don't look upon me because I'm black, because the sun has looked upon me. I think today they use the term melanin to describe that process. He knows that he's dark like the sun. The sun has looked on him, and that's why he's so dark. Don't look at me because I'm so dark. Es negro. He's so dark, the sun has looked at him. That's how he got so dark. Keep going.
My mother's children were angry with me.
Keep going.
They made me the keeper of the vineyards.
His mother's children couldn't stand him. They hated him, right? His mother's children. They made him the keeper of the vineyards, meaning imagine a big family full of children, because your father has a lot of children, because your father is King David, who has a lot of wives. So your older brothers make you the keeper of the vineyard, which is like gardening duty, farming, agricultural duty. And they make you go out there and keep those vineyards. And a vineyard is a grapevine. You have to be the one out there, and those grapevines have to be tended to. You got to wrap them a certain way, make them grow on, certain ropes or trees, and trim them a certain way for the grapes to be as full as they can be. So they didn't like him. They couldn't stand him, and they made him go do that hard work. Continue.
Khan. But my own vineyard have I not kept.
But his own vineyard have he not kept. Now, see, young brothers who don't know how to get tail, let me explain to you what this is. This is game. This is poetry. You have to learn how to talk to a woman. You've got to learn it. It's something that if you want a woman, it's a skill that you don't want to miss. Okay, you'll think other things are skills. You think hitting them over the head is a skill. You think lying to them is a skill. That's your skill. Your skill is just saying, that's my car, and it is not. You understand? I have a job here, and you don't. I don't have a woman, and you do. You think lying is the skill to get a woman. It's not. It's not a skill. This is poetry. It's poetry. He's saying, when I was a kid, I had to work the field. I had to work my older brother's vineyard. But here I am, and I'm not working my own. Oh, that's game, young brother. Do you know what he's talking about? He's saying, I haven't been spending enough time with you. Back when I was a kid, I had to work the vineyard. I worked somebody else's field. Now that I have a field, I'm not working it like I should be. I pray you understand. Lo entiendes. Keep going.
Verse 7. Tell me, O thou whom my soul loveth.
So he's talking to them. Tell me, thou whom my soul loveth. It's like saying, tell me, beloved, or tell me, loved one. Tell me whom my soul loveth. Keep going. Am this the question, or am I past the question? Am I still in the question?
Verse 8.
Verse 7.
Verse 8 is the end.
Okay, go ahead.
Where thou feedest, where thou makest thy flock to rest at noon.
I'm not quite. I got to read it with you. 1 second. Where are we at?
Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 7.
Stand by. Song of Solomon, chapter 1. 1 verse 7. Read it again, please.
Khan. Verse 7. Tell me, O thou whom my soul loveth.
Try to fix I'm getting texted. My sound is still a little off. Just try to straighten me out. Give me a 1W if my sound is good to go. All right. Text it to the brother. 1W if the sound is good. Okay. Go ahead.
Khan.
Mm-hmm.
Where thou feedest, where thou makest thy flock to rest at noon.
Mm-hmm.
For why should I be as one that turneth aside by the flocks of thy companion?
Right. He's saying, tell me, loved one, where do you rest your flocks at noon? Who understands what he's asking her? It's old. It's old poetry. Old, but it's strong game. It's absolutely strong. Please.
Like I said, if you please repeat it.
Where do you rest your flocks at noon? So just first see the actual thing. The metaphor is what? She has sheep, and in the noonday, her flocks sleep somewhere. They lay down. They rest. A flock is usually traveling, moving, trying to get more grass. In the heat of the noonday, the flock will lay down and everybody gets a break. So in essence, where do you take your noonday break? Please.
Where do you allow your personal responsibility to be able to fully rest?
You're right there. You're right there. Please, officer in the back. You're right there. You're correct. The next verse might bring it home for everyone. Go ahead.
What he's saying is he's asking, where do you hang out at when you have some time?
So we can have some time together, because if your flock is resting, right, then we can have some time to spend with each other. All right. Because I need to find out where you're resting when the flock is resting, because of this. Read the next verse.
Verse 8. If thou know not,
No, read it right after in the noonday.
Come. For why should I be as one that turneth aside by the flocks of thy companions?
For why should I go and turn aside and go after the flock of your companion when I don't spend enough time with you? This is having more than one wife. This is how it's done properly, not done in the backwards, negligent way that you would like to do it, but in the right way. If you want to do the right thing, you look at all of them and you'll go, well, damn, I haven't seen her in a while. When I was young, I had to tend other people's vineyards. Now I have a vineyard that I don't even take care of. Where will you be tomorrow at noon while your sheep are resting? Why should I go to someone else's flock when I don't even see you like I should? This is talking to a woman. Everyone understands. And in specific, your woman. Many times you could forget to talk to a woman like you're trying to have sex with her after you've already had sex with her. And you should not do that. Solomon did not do that. There's a woman he's already had sex with and already had children with, and he's been with them. But he doesn't forget that they still have to. I don't want to tell you more than you don't. I don't want to tell you what you don't want to hear. Okay. I'll give you this last bit, then I got to end this. Imagine a woman having a hole in her soul. Everyone has a hole in their soul. Every man and woman has a hole in their soul. Finding a way to fill that hole up makes you irreplaceable in their life. They cannot do without you anymore because you filled up this hole in their soul. Now, a woman has that hole in her soul. You find out what that hole is and you fill it. Now, when you're married to her, you have to remember that I'm trying to fill this space in her soul. So I can't stop telling her she's beautiful. I can't stop telling her how much I want to be with her, because then what do? Create this giant hole that's a need in her soul to be made to feel pretty, to be made to be desired, which is what she wants above all things, to be desired. And there's a white woman on her phone saying that she's thinner, she's healthier, she's richer, her hair is better, her eyes are better, and she is what the ideal woman should look like. And that creates even a bigger hole. So now this is his wife, but he knows I'm not filling up that space in her soul. I worked those fields when they were someone else's fields. I worked them. I'm not going to work my own. Nah, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be over there tomorrow. When do you take your break? Why should I go find another field, another flock to tend to, which is what a man naturally does. And Solomon damn sure did it. He just naturally just went and got more women. He didn't body in. He didn't care what race they were or anything. He just went and got more and more and more and more women, which is what your flesh will tell you to do, is just to fill up the hole in your heart with quantity of women. That fills up the hole in a man's heart, because the more women you have sex with, what do you feel? You feel like you're a man now, don't you? Because you're able to go and get more and more sex, more and more women. You meet new women and new women and new women. And that kind of makes you feel like maybe you're not the punk that your father said you were, or that your mother said you were, or that you felt like in high school, because you're able to have a new conquest of women every, 2 months. And it kind of fills up your hole of feeling emasculated every day. Yeah, I had another video I did not send you up about how black men would beat their wives every day in the 70s. I didn't send this to you. Okay. And women knew that it was because their husbands had to leave, had to go out to work every day and be belittled by the world. And they were emasculated every day by the world. And they would just come home to beat their wives because it filled the hole in their soul. I'm going to try to get this to you briefly as soon as I answer this question. All right. So now that you understand that, let me just finish the verse. All right. Go ahead.
Khan, verse 8. If thou know not, O thou fairest among women, go thy way forth by the footsteps of the flock, and feed thy kids beside the shepherd's tents.
That's breaking down what I just said. He's telling her where to go, where to be. And notice how he's calling her fairest among women. Fairest. That's filling a hole in her soul. There's no one that's prettier than you. There's no one that looks better than you. And you tell that to all of them. You understand? That's the last one. You tell it to all of them. They're all the best. All of them. You do it privately and individually where the other ones don't hear it. Okay? Now, I should not be saying this. Already, this was a mistake. All right. Allow me to move on. I'm trying to find this video for you if I didn't send it to you already. All right. I believe I broke it down for him. That's all I can do for you.
Con, sir.
Anything else? Go ahead.
One kind. A question, Salakia Adawan Baba Shah sister asks, may I get a scripture breakdown on Isaiah 25 and verse 2 through 5, sir? The water Adawan.
No problem, Mark. Go ahead. I don't know what I did with this, but it was a good one.
And also, everybody said the sound was too wild. That might have been from earlier.
I appreciate it.
Come.
Isaiah chapter 25, verses 2 through 5.
I'm gonna send you this. This is not it, but this is excellent. All right.
Come.
Go ahead, Warrior.
Khan Khan. For thou hast made of a city an heap, of a defense city a ruin, a palace of strangers to be no city. It shall never be built.
I'm sorry. What was the particular question?
Just a scripture, just a general breakdown.
Okay, give me 2 verses above it so I can understand.
Khan. Isaiah chapter 25, verse 1. O Lord, thou art my God.
You get that, I'm sure. Go ahead.
Khan. I will exalt thee. I will praise thy name.
I'm sure you get that. Go ahead.
Khan. For thou hast done wonderful things.
Go ahead.
Thy counsels of old are faithfulness and truth.
I believe he gets that, right? Is that self-explanatory, or do I need to break that down? You'll have to tell me, all right? I believe he's just saying that what the Most High said is true. His advice, his wisdom is factual. It actually works. It's actually true. Go ahead.
Khan. Verse 2. For thou hast made of a city an heap, of a defense city a ruin.
For thou hast made of a city a heap. That happened in California. The Most High made a heap of that city. A heap is a big pile of rocks. That's a heap. So at one time, this was a great and powerful city. Oh, they had famous Hollywood stars living there. You know, the place that you always wanted to live, the place that you're not allowed to buy a home in. They'll make sure there'll be government programs, things like redlining, to make sure that you, the bank, will not give you a loan to live in that same area. And you'll wonder why a place is so white. You think it's just money that's stopping black people from living there. It's not. It's not money at all. Like, they're making sure that the property values are high. And when blacks and Hispanics move into a neighborhood, they believe it drops the property value. So they'll make sure that they never allow you to live there, regardless of how much money you have, right? These are the places now that are piles of rocks right now. It's burnt coal. That's what they are right now. Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Everyone understands. All right, go ahead.
Khan. A palace of strangers to be no city.
A palace of strangers to be no city. Right? It was this great thing. Now it's not. Now it's not a city anymore. This is a perfect precept for what's happening in California, and you're going to see it happen in a lot more places. You're going to see it happen. All right, go ahead. I think I don't have it anymore. It was good. Keep going up.
Khan. It shall never be built.
You get my point? Meaning they're not going to be able to rebuild because like the Bible says, they shall build, but he shall throw down. They'll try to rebuild these cities. They'll try, and the Most High will just destroy them again. That's all. Please, Trooper.
So I see a report where on the news they're covering a whole lot of their 12% containment, 13% containment, 15% containment, which really says 85% isn't contained, and they're forgetting that part, but they glorifying themselves and they priding themselves on that, and they're doing it on national television. And the Mexican word for the winds, they're returning today or tomorrow. and it's going to be even reported. It's supposed to be even more fierce. So what you just spoke on, which is very accurate,
Most correct.
and that's I look forward to seeing my God do what he say he gonna do.
Give him a hand. It's the damn truth. That's right. Was that his? Am I here where his question was or no?
It was 2 through 5.
Yep, we're on verse 3 now, sir.
Go ahead.
Verse 3. Therefore shall the strong people glorify thee. The city of the terrible nations shall fear thee.
The strong people will glorify you, which is what the trooper just brung out. But the city of fierce nations, they will fear the Most High God. That's why they were terrified of those drones in the sky in New Jersey. Terrified of them. And they know why. Because let me tell you another thing about the white man. He is such a bully and he's so cruel. And bullies are terrified of a bigger bully. They're horrified of that. They hope they go their entire lives never meeting anyone that is as big as them. Hoping they never meet a person that has courage ever. Because their only skill is to intimidate people into not fighting at all. But in New Jersey, when they looked up in the sky, bro, and they saw those lights, they thought, oh my God, there might be something greater than me. There might be a power greater than me. And those white people cried out. I have the videos of them crying straight up and down tears about these lights in the sky, things you can buy on eBay for $50. You can buy that damn same drone. Did you see the drones that they activated during the what's the last big holiday? New Year's Eve. If you cannot find a video of these drones on New Year's Eve creating, magical images in the sky. White people were terrified of those same drones when you could have bought those for New Year's Eve, brother, and made a dragon in the sky. Put Charlie, they're going from the Charlie Brown. They could have put Charlie Brown, and they did. White people were still terrified because white people are afraid. Look at this message. Play the video for everyone. Same thing in New Jersey was blinking. Just a blinking light. And white people were terrified, called the president, called the National Guard, the governor, horrified. Read that part again, that last verse.
Verse 3. Therefore shall the strong people glorify thee. The city of the terrible nations shall fear thee.
Oh, yeah. They're going to fear the Most High God. You better. You better. Anything else? Keep going.
Verse 4. For thou hast been a strength to the poor, a strength to the needy in his distress.
1 second. Read it again. Otra vez.
For thou hast been a strength to the poor.
That's the God of Israel, brother. That's the God we serve, man. The God of Christianity is the God of the rich. That's what he is. That white Jesus you see in church, that white God on the roof of the Sistine Chapel, that white God that inaugurates the president. That is the God of the rich. That's the God of the slave master, Rob. The God of the Bible is the God of the poor. That's the God of the poor. And he is all the poor has. And he is absolutely all we need. Read it again.
For thou hast been a strength to the poor.
Keep going.
A strength to the needy.
Keep going.
In his distress.
Keep going.
A refugee from the storm.
A refuge. That's refuge right there.
Salakia.
A refuge to the storm. A refuge is like a place of refuge. Some place that you can go in and you can hide in this cave or hide in this house. Like those stations on the Underground Railroad. Those houses that you could go into and hide from the bloodhounds. Those places were refuge to slaves that wanted freedom. Well, the Most High God is a refuge out to the poor and the needy. Him. He'll be where we can hide. He'll protect us because we don't have a giant mansion or some giant home. We don't have our own military. We don't have tanks and aircraft carriers and underground bunkers that we can hide in, but the Most High God will protect the poor. The Most High God of Israel is the God of blacks and Hispanics because we are the poor and needy. Anything else? Was that the 8th verse?
Salakia, sir. That's actually the middle of verse 4, and we have to go to verse 5.
Keep going.
Karawan Khan. A shadow from the heat.
I think you understand that. Right? It's hot outside, the sun, you need some shade. Right? Shade. He's our shade in the heat, our shadow that we can go under to get out of the heat. That's a metaphor for the trouble that we're in, the terrible straits that we live in every day. And it's hot. It's hot. It makes you weak. It makes so many black men turn to suicide or slow suicide by the mouth of some drugs or some alcohol, some type of slow suicide that you know you're marching to and you refuse to get off of the path because really you want what's at the end of that path. You want a way to get free from the pain. Please, Trooper.
Yes, sir. If I may, when you explained the refuge, beautiful breakdown. Thank you very much for that.
Most I encourage the water.
Good to see you also.
It's good to see you, Warrior the water. Give him a hand.
Okay.
Outstanding.
Yes, the water, sir.
Uh-huh.
And so the refuge for the poor, that's beautiful because, as you say, we don't have that might. We don't have the might, and the only thing to have is your faith in the Most High God.
Damn right.
Okay, but where I have a question. It's Jacob troubles, and where do we have the line between the refuge and Jacob's troubles that's to come?
Okay. Jacob's troubles are happening. They're not to come. They're happening right now. Right. Even the concept of Jacob's troubles are coming is because that original breakdown came from white people. White people are living well. So when they read about Jacob's troubles, they think of it like this is going to happen. Do you understand? But we've been in Jacob's troubles since the 1700s. Right. Jacob's troubles. What's going to happen in Jacob's troubles? Give me one sentence. Someone look it up. Someone find it for him. You know one?
Everything we're doing today.
Yeah, that's all I can tell you. I mean, if you read the breakdown that fake Israelites and Christians use for Jacob's trouble, that is what your grandfather went through. That. You're going through that right now. You know the police can shoot you dead and feed you a feces sandwich and keep their job. They're still hired. That cat that killed Eric Gardner is a cop. He's not fired. He's a cop right now. He just went over to New Jersey and he's a cop in New Jersey. Everyone that you've ever, all these videos that made people march in the streets and burn down the CVS, those police officers are cops today. All of them. Every last one of them. They're police officers. They get hired again. Donald Trump is about to, whoever is in prison right now is coming out. Whatever cop killed someone and went to jail for it, the rare case, he is getting a pardon. They just pardoned one like 2 weeks ago. They pardoned him. We're in Jacob's trouble. It's legal to kill you. It's literally legal to kill you. We're in it, Doc. How much more trouble do we have to get in? We're in it. Do we have surety of food? No, we don't. Do we have surety of health care, of housing? No, of water. Of water? Go ask Flint, Michigan, if they're waiting for Jacob's trouble. In Flint, Michigan, and in Detroit, if they're thinking about one day when things will finally get bad. Jesus Christ. I got to move on. I think it's happening right now. All right, let's go ahead.
Karawan Khan. When the blast of the terrible ones is as a storm against the wall.
Think of a blast, like in your mind, like getting blasted. Right, a giant force of energy, like a tornado or wind, just knocks you down. Well, one day, because of the Most High God's mercy, the blast of that terrible one will be like something wind just hitting a wall. The wall won't know anything even happened. The wall won't even know that anything tried to knock it down. That's what's going to happen, brother. You see, instead of waiting for Jacob's trouble, What you better be waiting for is Jacob's deliverance, because that is our future. Our future is not things getting worse. Our future is things getting better. Our future is the end of Jacob's trouble. That's our future. We're living in Jacob's trouble right now, but we're reading this Bible. We're getting off of alcoholism and drug addiction and homosexuality and Christianity so that our troubles can end. That's the point of all of this. White people are sitting home scared to death of the future because they know in the future their troubles begin. They know that, and that's why they constantly talk about how we have to fix America. We got to get rid of all of these Hispanics. We got to do something to get rid of them. We got to stop this affirmative action because in their mind, they're going to have a terrible future if you are here. If you have a job, if you can go to school. If you can go to school, life is bad for white people. And if you don't believe me, just open your eyes and look how they're literally trying to stop you from going to school. They don't want you to go to school because in their mind, it's like, if this cat goes to school, what are we going to do? If they come into the country, they're going to take our jobs. White people can't stand competition. They hate it. They're not exactly. They're bullies. They're not up for the competition. You would think he's so big and bad. Why don't you let the Mexicans come in here and let's compete for that job then? Let's get it on. Since you're so goddamn Iron Eagle and Tom Cruise, then let all the Mexicans come in, all the Haitians come in, and let's see who can get that job. Let's compete, especially since the owner is white, the supervisor is white, the job is run by white people. Why are you so afraid of a Mexican's competition? Because you know you can't win if there is a competition. Please.
As a Judite, I wouldn't want to go against.
Shalom, give him a hand. Shit. Please believe they don't want to compete with the tribe of Judah, with Benjamin, with Levi, with Issachar, with Naphtali, with Asher. They cannot stand competition. So in their mind, if there is competition, they're going to lose. And then they'll be in trouble. And their troubles will start. Please, come on.
The sister said in the chat, that's a fact, sir. Fake Israelites believe the guillotines have to be lined up for Jacob's trouble.
Lined up? What does that mean? oh, you mean a ton of guillotines? Okay. All right, listen. Maybe one day things will get bad. I don't know. You know. It's all right. All right. Where's the next verse?
Verse 5, sir. Thou shalt bring down the noise of strangers.
I think you understand that. You shall bring down the noise of strangers. All of their talking. All of their talking with their mouth. Let me see the talking those Edomites did. Those white supremacists did. Things that they would never say in public, 5 years ago. Maybe not 5, maybe 10 years ago. Before Donald Trump, there are things you're going to hear now that you would never hear before. White people in the past had enough class to hide their racism. America has never been a country that was not racist. America has been racist. America is founded on the hatred of anyone who is not white. Even the concept of being white only exists to oppress you. Without you here, there would be no such thing as white people. There would be the Irish hating the Italians and the Jewish people hating the Germans. But the minute you showed up, they said, listen, we white. We all are white. We got to be against them. There wouldn't even be a such thing as being white without fear of competing with you. The Irish would just hate the Italians and they kill each other like they used to. That's all. They would just kill. The Germans would kill Jewish people like they used to. But you stepping up and you getting free and you having intelligence and gains made them band together and invent the term white, which did not exist. My God, when did they invent that term, Mark? That's a fairly new concept. White. That's new. And it's just to fight you. That's it. It's just a way to fight you. Let me show you what the type of noise that you're going to hear now that it was a time you wouldn't hear it. You have it? No problem. Did I give it to you? The brother will play. Let me finish the verse up, unless we're done already.
Not yet, sir.
Please.
As the heat in a dry place.
Yeah, you understand that. Go ahead.
Khan. Even the heat with the shadow of a cloud
Keep going.
Khan. The branch of the terrible ones shall be brought low.
I think you understand that. I pray. All of this is talking about the trouble of our oppressor. That's what's coming. He's going to get some goddamn trouble about time. He's going to get some trouble, which is what this verse is about. Go ahead.
That's it, sir.
That's it. Throughout it. Gracias. Anything else? Take your time. Any questions in the room that I can answer? Please.
If we have available time, my son Bakwaya, he improved quite a bit with his reading scripture.
Give him a hand. You want to give him a go?
Yeah. So if time allows, whenever you.
Let's do it right now. Let's go to Jeremiah. Let's go to Jeremiah 14:2.
And so, like I said, while he's looking for that, Jeremiah 14:2. I seen on social media where the well-off Caucasians that sign up for things like FEMA and whatever, once they get into like destroyed areas and they have to spend a substantial amount of time, they're close to drugs and other issues. And it was reported by someone that worked within that organization that all of them fell back into like a primitive state where once there's a big disaster, to climb out of it on their own is not what was shown to this individual. He said that they all took to drugs and went back to a primitive state. And that was a refuge to the state I was in at the time. Just to know that without their upper hand, they're going to collapse. They're going to collapse. They're collapsing now. But that's refuge.
Give him a hand. I got another precept. I think the precept I would rather hear is Revelations 1:13. See if you can get there, please. Okay, as soon as he's ready. But until then, when he's ready, let me know. And until then, I'll see if I have another question. All right? Please, Aisha.
I have that other video with the that you just sent me.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Which one was that? Play the one with the Edomites, with the blast, with their words or their mouths.
So I'm trying to get that pulled up.
Okay, what's the one that you? What's the one
you just sent me?
I don't even remember.
Captain Cesaria.
What is it about?
It's it's like the one about brothers beating their women.
Is that one? Let me see. Who had that one?
You just sent me that.
You should. That's the right one. Let me see that one. I thought I couldn't find that one.
It is not allowing me to share the file.
Okay, I can't find it. I believe it's from the show Good Times in the 70s, and these women sitting in a self-help room, like in a room about women getting beat and some type of women's group for getting beat. I cannot find it. Don't sweat it out. I don't think I even sent that to you.
It's a barbershop. I have a quick
Please. Please, he's going to refresh the page. All right, everyone stand by for a second. One second.
Sir, everything should be too wild now.
You ready to rock? Okay, what's his name?
Bakwaya.
Say again?
Bakwaya.
Please read Revelations 1:13. We got him on camera?
Live, sir.
1 second. Let me get you on camera, all right? You got it, warrior. Go ahead and read it.
And in the
midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, caught with garment down to the foot, and give about the paps with the golden girdle.
Keep going. That's it. You doing it. Go ahead.
Verse 14. His head and his hands were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Keep going.
Verse 15. And his feet like unto my brass, as if they burn in the furnace sand. His furnace sand, his voice as the sound of many waters.
Give him a hand. Yashala. Good job, Hawk. Good job. Most High in Christ. You can have the brothers will give you the video so you can have the video, all right? Well done. Well done, brother. Well done, trooper. Good job. Most High in Christ. Well done. All right. Where are we at now?
We have a few more questions in the chat.
Go ahead.
Slack, sir, real quick shout out to Houston joining us.
All right, Houston, H-Town, give them a hand.
Chicago with us.
Chi-Town, I see you. Get it on, Warriors.
Dallas in the building with
Dallas, Texas, give them a hand. I see you, Dallas. Get it on, Akim. All right, you ready to rock? Any questions from any of the camps joining in online? You just let me know, okay?
Come on, sir.
Go ahead.
Sister asked, Salakia, sir, with your grace, may I please have a breakdown on Matthew chapter 2 and verse 2?
Please, if you don't mind. I just reminded myself of something. I've been meaning to tell younger brothers and sisters in the school. Let's log this under the category of UPK etiquette. There are a few things I'm hoping to teach you before the Passover about UPK etiquette. One I will teach you tonight is this: the use of the term camp. You cannot be a camp and not be in the Israelite school of UPK. The term camp is a term for schools in the UPK. You get my point? Meaning something like the Purple Pigs are not a camp. Whatever your fake Israelite preference is not a camp. That's a group. That's another fake Israelite group. That's some other group. That's some other church. So the Purple Pigs and your favorite Israelite group can be a group. They can be a church. They can be that, but they're not a camp. The term camp in specific is a term that the UPK uses for the Dallas camp, for the Houston camp, for the camp in headquarters, many times because of your just youth. And I know you don't understand because you go on the internet and you hear, well, these are other camps. They're not other camps. That is a UPK term that we use for other brothers in other cities. So Dallas is a camp. Pittsburgh is a camp. Houston is a camp. Philadelphia is a camp. The Purple Pigs are not a camp. That's a church. I think it's literally the Israelite Church of what is it? Jesus Christ or something? What does IUIC mean? Israelite United in Christ. Okay, well, the C is for Christ in that camp. But you can call them a church, you can call them a group, but don't ever call someone a camp that is not in the UPK. It's against our etiquette on how we speak. You get my point. Everyone understands? All right, the water. What do you want to say, Warrior?
No, I was gonna
please.
read the verse.
Okay, someone had a question I'm missing? What are we breaking down now?
Sir, Matthew chapter 2 and verse 2.
Just a general breakdown of this?
She asked, what does it mean by his star?
His star. Okay, go ahead and read.
Matthew chapter 2, verse 2, saying, where is he that is born King of the Jews?
Okay, these are the three. Are they called wise men in the scriptures? I don't think they're called wise men. I think they're called something else. What are these men called? These are the Christians have an entire myth about this story called the three wise men. I don't believe that term is in the Bible at all, and especially not three. Go ahead, Warrior. Okay, that's the thing then. It says wise men, but not three wise men. I got you. It doesn't give the number of them. Am I correct about that? Okay, solid. So this is where the whole, three wise men story comes from, that Christians, celebrate every so-called Christmas, all right? So when it says that his star was in the sky, it's talking about the constellation that they read to know that he now lived in this area. And they followed that constellation. It's how ships travel to this day. It's called astral plotting. Also, this has nothing to do with that he was just born. The Bible doesn't tell you what age he was. He could have been any age. He could have been any age before 12, before his family came back to Israel when they left Africa. So it could have been any time before 12 years old. All right. They saw this constellation in the sky. And because they came from Ur of the Chaldeans, the people of Abraham, they worshiped the stars and they read star constellations. And so they knew that this amazing event had happened, and they knew that they could find the person based on this event in Jerusalem. And so they followed the constellation to Jerusalem. And that's what it means when it says his star. The constellation. It has nothing to do with that star above that Christmas tree. That is about Nimrod. That's about him. What they're talking about is the constellation that they read that led them straight to Jerusalem. The same way you can get from here to Panama using the stars right now. You could do it tonight. People in the Navy learn how to do that. It's called astral plotting, and they find out how to get to Europe simply by reading the constellations in the sky. That's what the star is talking about, a constellation. All right. Anything else?
So there's another question in the comments. Salakia, sir, if I may, is Alexander the Great and Philip of Macedon the first Edomites to pretend to be Japheth?
The first Edomites to pretend to, I would say yes, but you have to do some historical study to confirm it. But historically, those are the first ones that in history that are known to attempt to say that we are the Europeans, we are the Greeks, or at least the first ones that had power. Philip of Macedon is the father of Alexander, the so-called Great. Philip of Macedon conquered Macedonia, which was a Japhetic land. When I say Japhetic land, I mean the people that we now call Hawaiians and Polynesians today. He conquered them. Now, I believe there was another one, King Hawaki, King something, but he was a King Hawaki, I believe, was a Japhetic person. So yes, I would say that Philip was the first one to claim the race of the people whose land he conquered. He'd be the first one in history, to my memory. I don't recall another one that would come before Philip. All right. Anything else? Please, Trooper.
The water, sir. If I may, it was said that Salakia.
No sweat.
In Psalms 46. One of the chosen people by King David to interpret the Bible and into where we can understand it. It was done by the priests and prophets that belong to a certain group.
Mhm.
Masons, is it?
Okay, I'm not sure. I don't quite understand your
Okay.
question. If you
Well, Shakespeare was amongst that group, but he didn't belong to that
the group that translated the Bible,
concert.
that's Negro myth. That never happened. That's something that black people it's a rumor that black people spread, I think through Dr. York or what's that cat that was in Atlanta? That's it, Dr. York. That's a myth. Shakespeare had nothing to do with translating the Bible at all. Black groups said that because of shake in one verse,
concert,
and spear in another, but Shakespeare was not a scholar.
According to the Salakia, sir, please.
You get the point.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
I'm just saying that's not true. If you're asking me about who translated the Bible, you can get a Zondervan Bible dictionary and it will tell you exactly who translated the Bible. He had different groups. King James paid the money to hire the Hebrew and Greek scholars to translate the Bible into the common tongue of English. Before that, there were other translations of the Bible, and the French Huguenots had that translated into French that predate the King James version of the Bible. And of course, you had the Latin versions of the Bible. You had other versions, but the English version that the poor people spoke. You get my point? That was King James paid for that so that poor people could read the Bible, because he was trying to break away the power that the Catholic Church had over being the only ones that could read the Bible, either in French, which was another sophisticated, language that rich people spoke, or Latin, which you had to be super rich and sophisticated to speak Latin.
The water for that, sir, because it was so diabolical the way that they put that false together with the number and the name and the chapter and the name that shows up at a certain. It was so it was believable.
I understand,
but I knew where to bring the question.
Yeah, Most High in Christ. They push it as if it's in the Bible, don't they?
It's in there.
Like Shakespeare wrote the Bible. They say it with such confidence. You think it was true. It's just not true.
The water.
No sweat. All right, in the back, please. Mm-hmm.
So Salak, if I may, just to kind of go back a little bit in regards to the like voyagers and travelers using the constellations to travel. Does that fall under the category of be not dismayed at the signs in the sky?
Not dismayed. Dismayed would be more like you're afraid of what's in the sky, because that's what dismayed means. Okay. So with that, you want to think more about the drones or lunar eclipse. Remember, just a minute ago, the IUIC worships the moon. Did you know about that? I got videos of it. They worship the moon, so they're very focused and scared about, an eclipse. They think the world is going to end because it's an eclipse. That's more what we're talking about with that dismayed verse.
Okay, kind of.
Just by the definition of dismayed.
Okay, kind of.
You understand?
So just like just in the battle, because I know they try to say, well, it dismayed. Well, the Voyagers used the stars back in the day, so it can't be like some Christian or some. You
could use the stars today if you want to get over there to Europe. That's not a sin.
So kind of. So the key word is dismayed.
Yeah, dismayed is the point, right?
Kind of.
Be not dismayed. The term dismayed means scared.
Right. Kind of.
Right. So you shouldn't be terrified of the stars, scared of the moon, scared of the northern lights or an eclipse. You shouldn't be scared of them.
Right. Kind of.
Because the heathens are afraid of them. Most of these gods are based on some event they see in the sky. That Stonehenge over there in Europe, man, they saw an eclipse in the sky, man, and thought the earth was over. And they built these stone gods to worship the sun so the sun wouldn't come crashing down on their heads. So the moon, that time of the year when the moon gets all big, what's it? I think it's around now, that winter time, when the moon looks extra big. Man, peasant folk thought that moon was coming down here to crush you. Before you know, they worship the moon like the IUIC worships the moon. I have the videos about it. Don't be scared to death of things in the sky, which is the point. No sweat. Please, Trooper.
Very quick, sir. With that just explained, when you turn on your phone and some of the first things you see that'll pop up, and it's not my algorithm, sometimes it's just there, where the other races and the sexuality is the first thing that blasts up on the screen, or somewhere along the storyline.
I got you.
You know, the next video. I find myself concerned. Am I in fear of things or dismayed for signs in the sky? Because I don't want to lust over, especially the 12 tribe sister. I ain't undressing and lusting over them. It's not going to happen.
I understand.
Okay, but they're beautiful to look at.
They are.
And so if I hear a loud boom, I ask myself, is that for you, man? Because you looked at that damn video, brother. You hit the button. you hit the button.
I understand. Well, is there a question you're asking?
Yeah. So,
okay, what's the question?
so my question is it sinful to observe that 5-second video and enjoy
looking at a woman?
Yes.
Okay, now let me ask you another question. Let's say you're walking down the street. What borough do you live in?
I'm in Manhattan. Sir.
Manhattan. So you're in Manhattan. You see a woman walking down the street and you think she's beautiful. Is it a sin to look at her, to turn your head and to look at her for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Is that a sin?
Just to
look at it, meaning you look at, she's walking down the street. Imagine before the internet was invented, women have not just started to be beautiful, right? Women have been beautiful for quite a long time.
Yeah,
right? Beautiful before the internet. So now you're walking down the street before the internet, you see a woman and you go, dang, something else. Have you sinned?
That's my question.
That's your question. No problem. Then I'll answer for you. No. It is not a sin to be attracted to a woman. There are people that have taught that, though. Those people are the Catholic Church. They taught that. The Catholic Church taught that looking at a woman is a sin. Just wanting her, meaning you look at her and you go, damn, that's a good looking woman. You got to go do penance for that. You got to beat yourself with a whip on your back and do confessions and do 25 Hail Marys because you were attracted to a woman. Yet, you can go molest a child and become Pope.
Wow.
Yeah, it is not a sin to want a woman. You know what happens after you want a woman? What happens?
If you work hard enough, you get one.
Well, without wanting women, none of us would be here. Right? Many of our fathers, brother, were not perfect men. Many of our fathers didn't have an education. They didn't really, a lot of them didn't even know how to raise a boy. They didn't know how to impart upon you wisdom and strength that you might need in your life. But there is no father that did not do the one thing that he needed to do for you to be here. And that's be attracted to your mother. At least that one time. Without your father doing that, you would not be here. There is no man that cannot thank his father for creating him. You can thank him for that. You understand? Why did he do it?
Because he was attracted to her.
That's it. That's where life comes from.
And as Israelites, is there a difference or something that you can speak on as far as if it's of the other another nation, say a Edomite or a Hamite or what have you, and you see?
Let me help you, okay? Here's what is a sin when it comes to desire. It's a sin to want another man's woman. That's a sin. Meaning this is his woman, and you look at her and desire her and want her. What sin is it committing? You might have to have a little skill to know this. Jesus Christ said this: whosoever looketh upon a woman with lust has committed adultery already. Now, Jesus Christ didn't invent laws. The things that he said were based in the law of Moses, that he took it and turned it up to make sure that you never broke the law of Moses. Got to give you another example. The law of Moses says, thou shalt not murder. right? That's in the law of Moses. Jesus Christ said, whosoever shall hate his brother in his heart, whosoever shall be angry with his brother without cause, he is guilty of murder. Now, why is that? Because he knows that if I sit around going, I can't stand Isha, I can't stand him, I hate him, I hate him, I hate him, eventually that will be the emphasis to me killing him. You understand? Because I hate him for nothing. He did nothing, but I hate him. So Jesus Christ stopped you. He didn't allow you to even start with the thought, because the thought turns into actions. Whatsoever a man thinketh in his heart, that shall he be. So Jesus Christ came in and took the law of Moses and cut it off early. So now you can't even be angry at a brother unless you have a reason to be angry with him. Do you understand? Jesus Christ said, whosoever looketh upon a woman with lust. Is that the term? I think I'm missing the word. With lust, he is guilty of adultery. Why? Because he knows if you start staring at Aisha's wife and looking at her and talking to her, then going out to coffee with her, taking her out to lunch, innocently, I'm sure. You know, just having lunch with some brother's wife on your job. You just having lunch with her, just talking to her, thinking about how pretty she is. Eventually, that's going to lead to adultery. So he made even the looking at her unlawful so that you never committed the act. So now that's what's unlawful. You look at a white woman walks down the street. You look at her and you go, well, that's an attractive white woman. Some white man will be happy to have that. You haven't sinned.
The water. So that's the
That's
water.
a good one for you white men. Hey, white men. You see that?
If you know what I know.
Get on it, white brothers. Get on it, white men and my white friends out there. Some white tail over there. Me, no, I'm good. No, thank you. I'm straight. But for a white man, that's an attractive woman. For a Chinese man, that's an attractive Chinese woman. It's not a sin to notice she's attractive. That's not a sin. I'm never going to touch her, never look at her, and never allow that thought to grow in my mind. I'm not going to do anything with this thought at all. Now, if you are, then you better get serious. You understand? If you are susceptible to, obsessing on it and wanting him and looking at him, then that's going to turn into you buying some white whore on these pages y'all go on. That's going to lead to that. So what you want to do is watch your eye. Jesus Christ said that the eye is the light of the body. And then whatever you fill your eye up with is going to be in you. You understand? So that's what you want to do. Noticing a woman is beautiful is excellent, especially if she's a Black or Hispanic woman. Now, the minute you see that she's with a man, stop. That's when you stop. You see she has a man. Oh, that's enough. You know what I mean? That's enough. I remember coming young. I was young in the truth, brother. Me and General Mayak. Myself and General Mayak, we are at camp, or coming back from camp, and I turn to him and I say, damn, I look at that. My goodness. Man. And Mayak say, she's holding a man's hand, Mahayaman. I didn't even notice the hand. Do you understand me? Do you get my point? You understand what I'm saying? I'm so busy looking at that tail. I didn't see the hand, and there was a nigga attached to it. That was a wake-up call for me. I said, Mayak said, she's holding a man's hand. I looked, I said, oh my God, she is. I didn't even see him. Do you understand me? That was a wake-up call for me. That was me knowing, Lord have mercy, I'm so focused on this tail. The broad could be, she's holding a man's hand. I didn't even see him. I didn't see the hand. Do you understand? That was a wake-up call. I was young in the truth, and General Mayak, I can tell you why y'all was shy. He saw that and he told me. He said, she's got a man. I said, oh God, Salakia. My apologies. I had to get myself in order. Listen, I had to get myself in order. Okay, that time might come for all of us where you go, I'm a little too focused. You understand? I'm really looking. I'm not just noticing. I'm looking so hard. I don't see the arm around her from the man kissing her. I don't even notice. It's like he's not even there. You get my point. You want to be careful. That can be fixed. That's easily fixed. with a little discipline. All right, go ahead. The water. Anything else?
So just a heads up. We're having some issues with playing videos on the computer, trying to get that sorted out.
We don't have to play. No problem. Let's get it on. Where are we at?
We still got a few more questions in the chat.
Please.
Brother asked, Salaki, sir, if I may, with your grace, my Lord,
please.
Can I get a general breakdown of Jeremiah 17:4 at the water, sir?
It's a privilege and an honor to serve you, warrior. No problem. Go ahead and read it, please.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy heritage.
Yeah, this is a bedrock UPK precept to make Israelites understand the Gentile breakdown and to understand who the children of God are in the New Testament. They're the people who discontinued from their inheritance. Discontinue something means to stop. So you no longer receive your inheritance. You know that you're the son of a king. The problem is you're not getting the inheritance, which makes you forget that you're the son of a king. It makes you not believe that you're the son of a king anymore because your inheritance doesn't go to you anymore. Thou shalt discontinue from your inheritance. You're the children of God. You're Yashar Allah, princes of God. But you don't receive the land. You don't receive the rulership. You don't receive the name at all. And so over time, you think that you're African American, Mexican, Haitian, and Guatemalan because you discontinue from your inheritance. Continue.
That I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
I don't know who else this could be talking about. Right? I don't know. The Mexicans didn't start off in Mexica. I believe that's the name of Mexico. Mexica, if I'm correct. That's the original name. They didn't start off there. The Guatemalans didn't start there. The so-called African Americans didn't start in Africa. We didn't start in America. But we were brought to these lands to serve slavery. That's why we're there, either running from slavery or serving slavery. That's how we got wherever we went to. That's how the Mexicans ended up in Mexico, running from the Assyrian slavery. That's how the North American Indians ended up in North America, running from the Assyrian slavery. We ended up in Africa. Why? Running from the Roman slavery. And now we're here and we think that we're the people of the land. We think we're the people of that land. We're not. We're there to serve slavery. Anything else?
For ye have kindled a fire in my anger.
Oh, that's how it happened, warrior. Because we kindled a fire in the Lord's anger. The Most High is angry with us. And that's how we ended up being on the bottom of the Spanish Empire, being on the bottom of the Portuguese Empire, the British Empire, because we made the Most High angry. Continue.
Which shall burn forever.
Which shall do what?
Which shall burn forever.
The Most High is never going to like pork eating. Never. His anger shall burn forever. He's never one day going to say, you know, I killed your forebears because they ate pork. Now you are allowed to eat pork. His anger is hot forever. Forever. He doesn't change. He hates pork. He killed so many of your forebears for eating pork. He didn't change his mind on it. He's angry forever about it. What you should do is realize that and never eat pork. Never. Because that's how angry he is about it. You think he's finally one day going to say, you can worship another God. I'm fine with that. I know I slaughtered millions of your foreparents for worshiping another God. But in 2025, I'm fine with that now. His anger shall burn forever. He's not ever going to be fine with it. He's not ever going to change his mind. He's never going to be less jealous. Never. Understanding that will keep you alive. Anything else?
La.
The water warrior. Próximo preguntas.
Sir, and I wish I could get this video up right now because what you were going into a minute ago, everybody's clowning in the comments, recalling that IUIC thinks that angels do push-ups on the dark side of the moon.
Yes, they do. We cannot play the video, but the IUIC literally worships the moon. You think I'm exaggerating? You know I don't do that. I'm telling you the truth, Doc. They believe that the moon is a military base for the angels to do push-ups, chin-ups, and sword fight. I'm telling you the truth about their doctrine. I have the videos where they teach it. It's because there was a song by Pink Floyd called
And at that point,
rock group. And the internet years ago said that that was a real thing. The dark side of the moon, it is not a real thing. There's no such thing as the dark side of the moon. I
got one.
Oh, you got one. Go ahead and play.
became frightened and was a little terrified, thinking he might.
The book of Sirach, chapter 43 and verse 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. From the moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. The month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above.
What is it?
Being an instrument of the armies above.
Those armies above are those clouds, those UFOs, those chariots, those IFOs. We've identified those flying objects in the Bible.
By the way, we've discovered a base on the back.
The IUIC believes that there's a military base on the moon where angels train. Why are they training? I don't know. I don't know why they would need to train. They're not humans. You haven't?
I just found this funny. On that post, their top comment,
by the way,
random Edomite saying, y'all off the beam.
I wish you could find a video where Nate is talking about the military base. Nate is teaching about the military base. I know Ibadja has it. When it says instrument, Purple Pigs, an instrument is not a base. I don't know if you Purple Pigs have dictionaries. I don't understand it. I don't know why you just can't get a dictionary. There was a time when there was a lack of information available to people. But now you got dictionaries and glossaries and things. A military base would not be an instrument to the armies above. That's not the same thing. The moon is an instrument to the armies above, meaning the angels. Do you know how that instrument is used? There's a season of forest fires. That season is determined by the moon. There's a season. Every year in California, there are forest fires. Every year, the same time of the year. What determines that season? The moon. The moon. The moon is an instrument to the angels because there's a flooding season. There's a hurricane season. There's a forest fire season. The angels come during that time and they destroy California. They wipe it out every year at the same time. Every year it happens. That's how the moon is an instrument, Purple people. It's not a base for people to do push-ups on or train on because the angels are not people. So they don't need to get in shape or stay in shape because they don't have bodies. You understand? They don't have chest and muscles to train. They don't have eyes to see a target. They're spiritual. They're not people. I know most of you are in the white man's military or are what the white man's police officers. And maybe because of that, you think that everyone is out marching. You think the angels are out marching and training and doing push-ups. They're not people. So that is ridiculous and it's stupid. And it's because you worship the moon. You think the moon is this thing that you all should be terrified of, scared of, and look up and celebrate once a month. And I got 5 of these videos about them with this stupid moon. They had their Passover on the same day as the solar eclipse.
I got that one.
Oh, play it, please.
The bishop changed the way we were going to bring in the new moon, and everybody was in an uproar. But when you do the math, he got it right. Years ago, he foresee what we were going to be doing now. And here we are bringing it on the Passover, on the new moon being when he designated. And when you count the 14 days, the land honor eclipse. It's historic. There will not be another eclipse like this until 29.
Look at me. Nate went and switched the Passover, which you're not supposed to do. and put it on the same day as the solar eclipse and then claimed it to be a miracle. When he put it on the day of the solar eclipse, he did that. He went and saw when the solar eclipse was going to happen and said, we're going to have our Passover on the day of the solar eclipse, which is a sin to do. You cannot change the time of the Passover. Nate went and did it so that the Passover could be on the same day as the solar eclipse because they worship the moon. They're in love with the effing thing. Who knows why? Show me the pictures of Nate, the 3 pictures of Nate up on the screen, and I'll explain. It's a hard thing to understand. Of course, in my service under Commanding General Yohana, I understand the IUIC, just like I understand every enemy that I am seeking to destroy. And I'm going to wipe out the IUIC until they're gone, until no one wears purple ever again. I'm going to destroy them. If you're in the IUIC, I'm destroying you. I'm going to make you ashamed to wear that purple shirt. I've done this before. I've done this many times. And the people that I've done this to are gone. They're not around anymore. I'm destroying the IUIC. Commander General Yohana gave me permission to do it, so I'm doing it. What is the reason that the IUIC is so in love with the moon? Let me show you this right here. You see this right here? You see these pictures right here up on the screen? It was the day of, what's the last time? Last Thursday. I called Nashak's wife in Nashville. Is it Nashville? Give Officer Nashak a hand in Nashville. He's the camp. Nashak is the camp leader in Nashville. He gave me permission to ask his wife to find these pictures. She found these pictures, I think, in 7 minutes. I don't know if it was 7 minutes. Sister Nadia, you can ask her how long it took her. It was right before class. I said, listen, can you find me a video of Nate and Ty Tribbett and that sexy Jesus? She might have texted me back in 7 minutes and found it. This is obvious and not difficult. I didn't spend any time thinking about this. I got 4 wives, huh? And how many kids? I don't know. Tons of them. They're expensive. And they're a lot of damn trouble. Forget about your problems I got to solve all goddamn night and can never go to sleep. I don't have time to find pictures. There's some sister, she found these pictures, Sister Nadia. She is the beautiful wife of the excellent officer Nashak in Nashville, Tennessee. Took her 7 minutes to find these. You can ask her online or ask him. Do you see what she found out? She went and found a picture of that sexy Jesus with that oily definition. And she found virtually the same picture of Ty Tribbett. Do you know in the end, that's not Nate? Who thought that was Nate? That is not Nate. That's not him. Some brothers called me and said, Dan, why Nate wearing that black shirt? I said, that's not Nate. That is a gospel singer. And his name is Ty Tribbett. That's it. But he is identical to Nate. Like they're twins. Like they are twins. That one in the black shirt is Ty Tribbett. The one in the blue shirt is Nate. The one with the sexy Jesus outfit on is the IUIC's depiction of the Black Christ. They're 3 different people. But do you see the Ty Tribbett's deep plunging neckline? It's a plunging neckline showing his cleavage. Do you see it's the same picture? The same oil. She said it to me. I said, how did you even find this in 7 minutes? That's how aggressively gay the IUIC is. They're aggressively gay. They want it in your face. They wanted to draw this picture of Jesus. They didn't have to make Jesus like that. But Ty Tribbett didn't have to come to that award show with that oil and that plunging neckline either. But he had to do it. He had to do it. Why does the IUIC worship the moon? I'm going to give it to you in 5 seconds because I got to get on to my topics. You're going to have to understand this to understand the IUIC. I'm going to give it to you because that big, round, full moon is so romantic. It's romantic. And when Nate looks at that moon up, he feels the flutters of a young teenage girl on prom night. He feels it. It's like he sees it. It's so big. It's big. That first of the month, he calls it the first of the month. That's the wrong moon. The first of the month moon is a piece of a moon. But Nate changed the first of the month moon, and he made the big fat moon. The first of the month moon. And they have a party in their churches every first of the month when that moon is big and round and romantic, like a woman. A woman wants you to take her to a place, sit in your car at night, look at the moon, look at the city skyline. Don't they like that? Who knows what I'm talking? You don't know what the hell I'm talking about. The brother knows what I'm talking about. Them gray hairs let me know you know what I'm talking about. Give him a microphone. He knows it. You got to take that broad to see the skyline of the city. Where do y'all go down here? Y'all go to a place?
I usually, I would like to park. I would like to park seaside near some water, and you save quite a bit of money with some crackers, cheese, grapes, and a bottle of wine. Because
I know. Listen, I know when
you don't need a restaurant after that.
Right now, what you gonna say?
You gotta take it down to Dumbo, sir, right under the Brooklyn Bridge.
Dumbo under the Brooklyn. How about the West Side Highway down here? Right when you go around, right where the what's that Latin Quarter is? No. West Side Highway, I would think. Go ahead.
Randall's Island, sir.
Randall's Island.
Randall's
You
Island.
know what he's talking about.
Randall's Island, sir.
And you were right too, though. What'd you say again?
Dumbo, right under the Brooklyn Bridge.
Right under the Brooklyn Bridge. Shalal Yalla, go ahead. You had one. Paramount. I know that West Side Highway, right around there. That West Side Highway, when you can see that Manhattan and it's so beautiful and big. Oh, that broad is going to be starry-eyed. That's where the term comes from. Starry-eyed. Nate looks at the moon and Nate gets starry-eyed. He is in love with it like a girl is in love with a beautiful, scene in the sky or a skyline. It's romantic because he's so feminine. He's not a man. He's not manly. He's not masculine. He's feminine. Or else explain it. Or else you give me the answer that you have. The doorman, that's the doorman. I always call him because he's a doorman. The doorman, go back to the doorman. The doorman said that Nate changed the date and put it on what's the thing called? The eclipse. He just said it on the damn tape. Nate changed the date of the Passover and put it on the date of the eclipse. Nate believes that the angels are training on the dark side of the moon. They celebrate the new moon, which is not a custom in Israel to do. Why? Romance. I believe that's you got to do that. That's all I can do for you. All right, let me think. I want to get into our oppressor. To get into him and explain. Go ahead.
Brother had my back. He said Dumbo right under the Brooklyn Bridge.
He know. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, go ahead. Well, for you sodomites out there, that's where you should take Nate on your date. Whoever is secretly, and Nate is the type of person that is secretly with boys. I believe he's doing it in Africa, allegedly. I don't know. He loves to go to Ghana. Nate loves to go to Africa. I'm sure it's just for the culture. I'm sure he's not doing anything with those African poor boys that you can give $5 to, and that's a year's worth of money. I'm sure he's not always in Africa all the time for the same reason that T.D. Jakes goes to Africa all the time. What's the other one? The one that died, that wore purple. Eddie Long was in Africa all the time, constantly. I'm sure that romantic Nate is not going there for that reason. He's going there I'm sure, for the purple God. I'm sure. All right. Anything else? Go ahead.
In the chat since last week, they've been calling that picture the IUIC Trinity.
That's an excellent term. Give him a hand. The IUIC Trinity. That's correct. Okay, let's go ahead. Next topic. Next question.
Come on, sir. We can start working on the videos on your topics. I believe Chicago is going to help us present them since the videos aren't.
All right, Chi-Town kicking in. I appreciate it. Where you at? Most High in Christ. Okay, what are we going first?
Let's see. We can start with.
Let's do the white man first, our oppressor first. Okay, Akim, Donald Trump is about to be inaugurated president, I think next week, right? And for those of you who have been through this before and understand this before, it's going to be worse than it was the first time. As you know, when Donald Trump became president, somehow people forgot that about 3 million people died when he became president because he is so incompetent and so stupid that the COVID-19 virus happened and he did not know how to handle it. There were videos that we showed right over here in Harlem, about 3 blocks from here, where there was a woman whose husband was dead in her house for 5 days. But there was no one to come pick up the body. And she came out on the news saying, please, could you come get the dead body of my husband? Many of us in here have parents and grandparents and friends who died during the COVID-19 virus. What was Donald Trump's solution? Destroy China. Fight the Chinese. He called it the China virus. His solution was to drink bleach. Who remembers that? That's what he said. Donald Trump said, listen, if we can just get the bleach in the body, we'll kill this China virus. Donald Trump is ignorant in the most popular way possible, which is why he won this election. He's the kind of ignorant that all white people are. What ignorant am I talking about? He is ignorantly violent. And their solution to every problem is violence against a person. Donald Trump, the minute the virus came out, he said, it's the Chinese virus. These goddamn Chinese. We need to fight these Chinese. We need some doctors, I believe. Some oxygen, some antibiotics. We need some type of, medicine. But in white people's mind, the solution to every problem is killing someone. It is how they think. And I have served Commanding General Yohana to the best of my ability throughout these years. And one thing that he has helped me to understand is white people. Commanding General Yohana helps me to understand white people. Lord knows white people do some things sometimes I don't understand. And I go to him like, sir, what is this about? Why are they doing this? And he'll tell me and I'll go, that's it. It fits the puzzle. I have a lot of the puzzle complete throughout the years. But boy, sometimes white people do a thing and I don't know how to fit that puzzle piece in. General Yohana shows me how, and it fits into the picture of white people. White people are naturally violent. They want to kill someone. So when a virus happens, when you're sitting there thinking, well, damn, we need medicine, right? We need doctors. We need a cure. No, we need to bomb China. We need to kill the Chinese, those damn Chinese. I'm going to show you this throughout every crisis that has nothing to do with killing, but somehow white people make it about killing. Let me give you another one. What do you have? Give me Marjorie Taylor Greene. Or what do you have right on deck right now?
We have the podcast.
Give me the podcast. This is the podcast that happened this week. And white people are feeling so good about the hope of America. Is it because of this amazing technology that America has? Is it because of America's finally has the type of system that's going to raise up the middle class and help the middle class have more money? America is great because it's finally hating Mexicans. And that's white people. America doesn't even have to be great. America just has to be bad for colored people. And in their mind, it makes America great because that is how they think. And it's hard for me to understand sometimes. I'm going to play it. Go ahead.
Our bar should be a lot higher than someone I've never heard of before.
Right.
But anyway. So.
Dang.
That's fair.
Reinhardt sent $25.
Hi.
I can't express how amazing the response around immigration has been. It's been more explicitly racial than I have ever seen from whites. I think our people know that time is running out and we need.
Okay, can you rewind the taste? Just from the beginning. That's all you need. Go ahead.
Actually, when I looked, we had
hear that, Matt?
4,000 live viewers.
Yes, I think
concurrent.
that on all platforms we have drastically surpassed Matt Christensen live.
4K concurrent, hey?
Yeah.
Hey, take that, Matt.
I'd never even heard of Matt Christensen until you told me about him.
Oh, really?
You let a good one go, Matt. You
What a
chased her
messy,
off.
So I don't know
gross
what.
breakup.
Just for proof, 4,496.
That is so great.
watching
Our
live.
bar should be.
So
Let's go.
great.
Our
live.
bar should be. A
Nice.
lot higher than someone I've never heard of before.
Right.
But anyway. So.
Dang.
That's fair.
Reinhardt sent $25.
Hi.
I can't express how amazing the response around immigration has been. It's been more explicitly racial than I have ever seen from whites. I think our people know that time is running out and we need solutions now. They are paying close attention.
Isn't it great? I think that this is it's such a positive development. I don't think I've ever felt better about the state of the country than I do right now.
It's like
actually.
lightning
Yeah.
overnight, you know,
Yeah.
everybody started talking about it and everybody pretty much agreed unanimously except for the broligarchy, you know.
Right there.
And is that the same Reinhardt
They're
on Twitter?
so
by the
happy
way? I'm curious.
because the response from about immigration has been so explicitly racial. That's what he just said. And that makes them feel hope for the future. You don't have to give them any money. You don't have to give them a job. You don't have to lower the price of eggs or bread. Will you hate Hispanics? Then God bless America. Things are going to be all right. That is such a hard concept to understand if you're not white. Because if you're not white, you need your money to get better. You get my point? Like you need for you to get a job, for the price of eggs to go down, for you to get a good apartment, for you to have a good car and gas not to be so high. If you're white, none of that has to happen. You just need to hurt Mexicans. That makes everything better in their mind. It is how they dealt with COVID. It is how they deal with everything. Let me show you a little more. Please, what do you have?
We got Marjorie Taylor Greene video on deck.
Now, this is a Congresswoman, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's a super Trump supporter. Listen to what she has to say about, I believe, was this hurricanes or storms?
This is the space lasers.
And what did they do?
According to her, the Jewish people have space lasers that can control the weather.
Yeah,
Or they're getting ready to beam.
So you see now the weather. This is going straight into the storms. I mean, the fire in California. There's a season of hurricanes, a season of winter storms. The solution to white people to stop the storms is to stop these Jewish people who have lasers in space, who are creating the storms. Because these storms come from people that we have to kill because they're creating the storm. Go ahead and play it.
He believes that space lasers owned by the Rothschilds were beaming energy back to America, and a blue beam of light shot California and burned down the forest. And perhaps it ends there, or perhaps it was done on purpose so that Governor Brown could get his high-speed rail. All of that is in.
You go research Marjorie Taylor Greene. When there's a bad storm, this is what she says. Come on.
And the reason we have him recapping this was like a post, like a rambling Facebook post that she made and then deleted.
Okay, because it's gone. I remember the post. It's like, yeah, I remember it. But when white people see bad weather, they think to themselves, who caused it so I can kill them? That's what they think. Then like you're sitting home thinking, man, we need some protection. We need, we need some barriers, better houses. We need maybe to know when the storm is coming. White people see a storm and they go, who do I have to shoot to stop this storm? They think that you can shoot someone to stop the weather from being bad because that is their solution to everything. They are hyper aggressive. They're Neanderthals. They'll hit you over the head with a stick, and that's marriage. That's who they are. And that's their solution to everything that happens. You don't believe me? Give me Donald Trump. You're president now. This is what you're in for. Back when the last hurricane season happened, when Donald Trump was president, now you listen to this story and you better know that we better love the Lord, our God, because this is the president now. This is why he's the president. This is how he won. Please read it for the brothers and sisters.
Come on, sir, from Axios.com.
Now, this is not a nut website. This is a real news website. This is on multiple news websites from the people he said this to. Go ahead.
Scoop. Trump suggested nuking hurricanes to stop them from hitting the U.S.
That's what he did. He went to the military and he said, listen, it's hurricane season. We got to shoot a nuclear weapon into the hurricane to stop the hurricane. That is real. And he would do it multiple times in meetings. That is why he won, because he's ignorant in the popular way. White people, when they say it's raining today, let's kill this person to stop the rain. It's an earthquake out here. Let's kill these kids. Then the earthquake will stop. It's the craziest thing in the world, unless you're white, because it makes so much sense that the way you solve problems is killing people, even the weather. Continue.
President Trump has suggested multiple times to senior Homeland Security and national security officials that they explore using nuclear bombs to stop hurricanes from hitting the United States.
That's your president. That's why he won. Multiple. He go to the generals, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the head of Homeland Security, and he would go, listen, man, we got to start shooting nuclear bombs into these hurricanes because we got to fight these hurricanes. Kill them. Kill them dead. Donald Trump is ignorant in the most popular way possible. He's violent, and that's why he won. Continue.
There are some bullet points. Asked how the briefer reacted, the source recalled he said something to the effect of, "Sir, we'll look into that."
The Bible says, blessed is he that has not served a man less worthy than himself. I feel so sorry for someone in the white man's military because that's your boss. He gonna go to you and say, General, can't we just nuke these hurricanes? Can't we just cut the hurricane's throat? Can't we blow the hurricane's head off? And the general goes, I understand, sir. Let me look into that. That's why he won. He won because of that. Because white people are naturally overly aggressive. They're violent. They want you to think that's how you are because of rap music and your crime rate. Your crime rate and your rap music comes from white people. It's from them. It's you pleasing them. Who are the number one purchasers of rap music? Do I need to even look that up? I don't have to, do I? You know already who buys rap music, right? Who goes to rap concerts? Do I need to even look it up for you? I don't need to, do I? Gangster music is for white people. They love gangster music, just like they love gangster movies, just like they love The Godfather and Heat and Godfather 1 and 2 and 3. And they love they love Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. They love violent movies. Every children's movies are violent. A movie for a child has a raccoon shooting a goddamn machine gun. That's for a child. White people love violence. Rap music is for white people because they love the violence of rap music. They enjoy it. It gives them pleasure. They pick the president that gives them pleasure. Now, here we are. Now there's a crisis in California because so much of the state has had the biggest forest fire in history. What's the solution? To kill the mayor. I don't know what that's going to do. I don't know how that'll stop the forest fire. But let me tell you what happened in California. I think it was the first press conference from the fire chief. They said, fire chief, what are we going to do about these fires? It's this goddamn mayor. We got to get rid of her. She cut the budget. She did this. We got to fight her. We got to arrest her. We got to get rid of her. I mean, it happens every year, these fires, right? I don't know if the bitch can stop the wind. I don't know if she could do that. I mean, I've never been a mayor, but I don't know if they control the wind in California, but I know how white people think. And I know that somebody has to pay for these forest fires. Somebody got to die. Who's going to jail? Who's going to get arrested? Who's going to get shot? If we can't find a person to shoot, we'll bomb the storm itself. We'll shoot a nuclear missile into the goddamn wind. That is white people. That is how they think. You need to know that about them. It's important so you can maneuver around them in life. Their solution to every problem will be what? Guess what? Drugs are coming into this country. Did I send you the video about the mice? Wow. Let me show you something. Let me talk briefly. I'm going to do drugs in Baltimore. I'll wait for Baltimore. I'm going to DC and Baltimore next week. I'll wait for that because that area is so destroyed by drug addiction. You've heard of the war on drugs, haven't you? Huh? How do you fight drugs? Just arrest and kill everybody. Kill all the addicts. Kill the drug dealers. Shoot them all dead. That will stop drug addiction if we just kill them all. We kill everybody that's addicted to drugs. That makes sense, doesn't it? If you're white, that makes absolute perfect sense. White people go, yes, war on drugs. We have to kill the people. And then when the children get addicted, we'll kill them and kill their children. I guess you're right. I guess if we kill all the people, there's no one to get high. Makes sense if you're white. However, in Israel, we like to keep some people. We don't want to kill all the people because then we don't have any people. I know I'm blowing your mind with this concept, but you got to keep some people. You can't just kill everyone that's high because then you don't have any people. Am I blowing your mind with this white people out there listening, my white friends? What I'm saying just sounds crazy to you, right? In your mind, the war, you have to fight a war on drugs. Kill them all, then there's no more addicts. I guess you're right, technically. If you kill everybody, there won't be anybody to eat, drink, or get high. However, that is not how we should think as blacks and Hispanics. We can't be like him. He is an animal. He is a goddamn animal. And Donald Trump won the White House because he best represents the animals. I pray you understand. ¿Lo entiendes? I pray so.
On that note,
please.
Trump blaming the governor of California.
Here we go.
Why is Donald Trump blaming the governor of California for the wildfires raging in LA? He says Governor Newsom refused to sign a water restoration declaration that would have allowed millions of gallons of water to the areas on fire. The governor's press office pushed back, saying there's no such declaration, calling it pure fiction. We've checked and can find no record of it. But Trump's press office said he was referring to an order he signed when he was president in 2020. It sought to divert water away from Northern California to farmland further south. Newsom opposed this at the time, saying he wanted to protect a fish species close to extinction. The order was ultimately blocked by California's Attorney General.
I'm preparing you for what you're going to hear for 4 years. There's going to be another COVID virus, another health scare, another problem. The solution will be killing somebody. Somehow. A flu epidemic. We getting the flu? That goddamn flu, that Spanish flu. We got to kill the people from Spain. Where's the people coming in? They kill them at the airport. Shut down the border because there's a new disease coming in. Kill the kids coming at the border. Somehow that will fix it. That'll fix everything. It'll fix killing someone is the solution to everything. Even the storm, even forest fires. Somehow you got to hurt somebody. We can't be like them. They're violent. You know what they are? They are blessed with the sword. That's in the book of Genesis. That is the white man's only gift he has. Every other thing he has ever gotten comes from his ability to kill. He has no blessing but that. He is not smart. He is not technologically advanced. He does not have more brains than anyone else, but he can take your invention and kill you. That he can do. You'll invent the cell phone. You'll invent GPS. You'll invent vaccines. Vaccines were invented by a black man, a slave. You can kill him and take it. You can kill everyone that invented anything and take it from them. And everyone will call you a genius. That's your gift, to kill people. We as blacks and Hispanics, we cannot behave ourselves as animals. We're going to have class, Akim. We're going to have to know that God is our refuge. We're going to have to treat people better because we're in hard times. That's something that white people would never understand. Because we're poor, I share more now. Because we're poor. Because we're suffering, I reach out my hand to help more than I ever would. Because I'm suffering. White thinking, white logic believes that killing someone is the answer to every problem. Lo entiendes? All right, good to go. All right, now, last topic. This is black women are going on. This is a parallel to the same topic I went into. I'm going to show you a video. What should we start off with first? The law that they had in Louisiana?
Concept.
I'm going to show you a law in Louisiana. What year was this up?
Oh, this was, I believe, in the 1800s.
This is the 1800s in Louisiana. Shout out to Isupk, Louisiana, the camp in Louisiana. Give them a hand. to the brothers, I think Captain Kahan, Officer Madabar out there in Louisiana. This is a law from Louisiana that many people have not heard of anymore, but I'll break it down for you today. Go ahead and read it or play it.
The brother's about to pull it up.
No sweat.
Another shout out to Chicago for helping us tonight.
Give Chi-Town a hand for helping out, man. We appreciate it. Whenever you're ready.
Come on, Sir Salak.
No sweat.
And a quick question in the meantime. A brother just dropped in the chat, Salaki, may I ask a question? What would be different in the kingdom between the least and the greatest? According to Matthew 20 and 10, every man will receive a penny the water out of one.
The least and the greatest, just think about today. Today in America, you have some white people that have these wonderful homes in California. Some white people live in Kentucky in trailer parks. The kingdom of heaven will be the same way for blacks and Hispanics. Based on what you do here, either you're going to be the people who are the richest and most powerful blacks and Hispanics, or you'll be the blacks and Hispanics that are just above white people. Why? There are white people that can take, what's that white people that get on that thing that Elon Musk has? They take you into space and bring you right back down. You heard about that? SpaceX? They got something out where you can pay them, I believe it costs $250,000. And they'll take you up into the top atmosphere where you float and then bring you back to Earth. It costs $250,000. Come on.
Don't forget how much they paid to go down and see the Titanic.
Right. They had those white people that went down to see the Titanic, paid God knows how much. They got a good view of that thing down there. I tell you what, one time. They really saw it. It was a good one time. Anyway, the Titanic was closed that day. so there are white people that have so much power. Elon Musk is rich, and he is getting an office next to the president's. He was never elected to anything, but he is getting an office next to the president's. And he's going to destroy all the working class and replace them with robots. Did I send you my robot video? Oh my God. I have a video out of these robots taking over this planet. It was an amazing thing to see. I need to find this one for you because it goes on to what the brother's question is. Stand by. Is this it? This is not. Hold on. I'll try. I'm only going to look for it for a second.
And then we do have that video pulled up for you whenever you want.
Which one are you talking about?
The sister talking about the Tignon law.
Oh, play that. Play that. Go ahead.
At one point in time, Black women's hair had become so intimidating that the governor
Can we get more in the room?
decided to completely outlaw and make it illegal for Black women to wear their hair out in public. The Tignon law was put into place in 1786. The style at the time for Black women was to wear our hair out. The main part is our hair was covered in jewels and gems and jewelry and
Stop right there.
and beads and all.
Give me the precept in 1 Timothy about how Black women's and Hispanic women's hair was. This is called the Tignon law. It was enacted in Louisiana when Louisiana was still a French colony. All right. Louisiana originally was named after Louis XIV, which was the King of France. This is before the Louisiana Purchase. So Louisiana at this time was a colony of France, and Black and Hispanic women were in this colony looking too good. It threatened white people. It threatened white women. White women went and complained to the governor about how good Black and Hispanic women were looking. They thought it was uppity. They thought it was them being out of their place because Black women wore their hair with jewels and gold in their hair, and their hair was not covered. They would walk down the street with gold and jewels and feathers in their hair. White women were so threatened by it that they complained to the governor. And the governor passed a law called the Tignon law. that said if you were a black or Hispanic woman, you had to come down the street in town with your head covered. And they were forced to cover their hair. Right now, black women feel that their hair is inferior. They feel that their hair is not beautiful and that the hair of white women is what's beautiful. There was a time when black women, you were so beautiful, white women were threatened by your hair. I'm going to play it one more time, and then I'm going to give you the precept in the Bible to show you that 2,000 years ago, your great-great-grandmothers were doing the same thing with their hair. Play it from the top again. Someone else hold Timothy. They wore braided hair. Please.
At one point in
You let
time,
Zadok
black
read this
women's
one if you don't
hair
mind.
had become so
Zadok, tell them where it is.
intimidating. At one point in time, black women's hair had become so intimidating that the governor of Louisiana decided to
Pause it again. I'm sorry. Black women's hair became what? Hey, Sean? Black women's hair became what?
So intimidating.
So intimidating. That's their hair was intimidating. White women would see the style and flavor that you had. They were intimidated by the hair of black women. Can you imagine that? Intimidated. Now you have billions of dollars that you have because black women buy their hair from the Indians in India, in Bangladesh. There was a time when black women walked down the street, brother. White women wouldn't complain to the police about your hair. Play it from the top again, but louder. I still can't hear it. It's probably me.
At one point in time, black women's hair had become so intimidating that the governor of Louisiana decided to completely outlaw and make it illegal for black women to wear their hair out in public. The Tignon law was put into place in 1786. The style at the time for black women was to wear our hair out. The main part is our hair was covered in jewels and gems and jewelry and feathers and beads and all types of embellishments. And then all of a sudden, white women.
Now, if you want more proof of who the children of God are, I'll show you right here in the Bible. Please, the doc, let him know where to read from. Give him a hand. The what? Now, this is Paul. Paul is speaking about what a real woman of God is. And he's saying that you're not simply a woman of God because your hair looks good, because you're beautiful, because you dress nice. You're required to do something besides looking good to be a woman of God. And Paul is going to describe how black and Hispanic women look, or to be specific, how Israelite women looked at that time. So, Doc, let me know when you're ready.
And like manner also that women adore themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broided hair or gold pearls or constantly arrayed.
That's what they were. They were coming in the truth with their hair just beautiful with gold and pearls in it. And Paul said, listen, that's not going to make you good enough in here. You're going to have to do good works in here. That's how it was in Louisiana, because that's the same women doing that. Can you imagine that, brother? Feathers, gold, all in their hair. White women were intimidated. I went and researched this. This is true. You can do this. Look this up on your own. They were so intimidated. There was public outrage about how beautiful a black woman's hair was. Outrage. Continue.
But which becometh woman.
I think you're done, Zadok. Give him a hand. The water boy. Go ahead.
Facts, not opinions.
Go ahead.
Please, but white women were not liking what was happening. There was an animosity that was tangible in the air. Okay? White women were going to the local newspapers, who were then going to the governor, complaining that the autonomy was beginning to upset the local white women. And the governor already had a little bit of tension towards black women. He was quoted as saying that black women had too much luxury in their bearing.
Too much what?
Too haughty.
Too much what? What's the word to use? Who heard it?
Luxury in their
luxury. This is in the 1800s. Luxury. He's saying these black women are walking around here like they own the place. Too much money. Hair with gold in it and pearls and feathers. They acting like they're white. They're acting like they're rich. White women were terrified of black women's hair. That's what happened. They were terrified of it and passed a law called the 10-yawn law that anyone can go look up. They said there's too much luxury and autonomy. Autonomy is like they were individuals. That's what autonomy means. Like they looked like individuals, meaning your wife had these feathers and this color in her hair. This other man's wife had pearls in her hair. This other man's wife had gold. White women said, enough is enough. You acting like you're better than us. Went and complained to the governor, and he passed a law to stop it. Continue.
Bearing, meaning they were too haughty, they were too self-assured, they were too confident with who they were as people. So he had no problem with putting this into law. The Teen-Young law basically stated that Black women were not allowed to be seen out in public with their hair. They had to wear a knotted headdress, so a headscarf with a big knot in the front, or a handkerchief.
Stop.
So,
So because of this law, a Black woman could not be in public without wearing what everyone knows. You've seen this if you watch a movie today. A big headdress with a knot in it. Everyone has seen that. What you don't know is that they wore that because it was a law to hide the hair that made white women jealous. It made white women intimidated. They had to hide it. So it would be a big headscarf with a knot in it. But the story is not over. Keep going.
Black women followed the rules, and we started to wear headdresses and handkerchiefs. But you know what happened next? Yeah, we freaked those. We decided to decorate in house, and we just did the same thing to the head wraps. We put feathers, beads, gems, jewels, different.
Bro, I can tell you how a while y'all was shy, bro. Let me tell you what sister said, no sweat. They wore the big head wrap with the knot. They put feathers in that. They put gold in that. They dressed that up and got their autonomy while wearing the head wrap because they are the daughters of Zion. That's who they are. And they cannot be stopped. And the closer that they get to their God, the more that white women will be jealous of them. White women will be terrified of them. And they'll pass laws, but there's just nothing they can do to stop the style of a Black woman. You see, that's your power, not in your arguing or the fact that you put your foot down or the fact that you can yell at any man and fight any man. That is not powerful. These women knew what real power was. Their beauty, their style, the fact that they were so confidently beautiful that white women just couldn't take it, and there was no law that could stop them from looking good. None. I pray you understand. Let me tell you where we've come. Do you have what do you have here?
Salaki, so the next video that we have is the sister talking about how she grew up learning that.
Yeah. Go ahead and play it.
They're gonna pull that up real quick.
No problem. My missing question. I gotta end the class. Kadazai, where are we at? I can end it now.
9:45.
I'll try to do it before that if I could, all right?
Yes, sir.
Please, do what word. Okay.
They're ready with that one.
Go ahead. Oh, this is a good. I forgot about this one. Go ahead. This is a sister being interviewed by white people. She's trying to explain how Black and Hispanic women feel now about beauty. And as you brothers know, we're men, so sometimes we're not sensitive to this because we, of course, think about masculine things and manly things, unless you're in the IUIC. But brothers in the UPK, things like this we don't care about, but it's important that you do care about it if you have daughters or if you have a wife or wives. You should care about this kind of thing because our sisters, our daughters are under such pressure because they don't believe that they are as pretty as white women. And it's been going on for a long time. Laws like this, like we just read about, begin to make our women think that they're ugly, that they're too fat, that they're too skinny, that their hair is too unlike white women. Their eyes don't look like a white woman's. Their skin tone doesn't look like a white woman because at one time, white women were jealous of her, but white women controlled the levers of power. and they begin to force black women to feel inferior physically. Everyone understands, all right? And this is what we've become. Go ahead and play it.
May have to unmute something, Chicago.
Chicago, unmute. I gotta move on.
They should be able to pull it up.
Chicago, you ready? Please, go ahead, Warrior.
Yes, if I may, very quick. Even as middle age, in my 30s, I always was attracted to the ethnic woman, and I also seen on social media where a guy took a potato and put eyelashes on it and some makeup and some long hair, and it looks like everything that goes out on Saturday night to the clubs. It looks exactly like it. And then with the sisters, Isupk, the water. They are very, 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 very beautiful and very
Damn right.
soothing to see.
Damn right.
And I commend them. And that's nothing more beautiful than seeing the sisters and the mannerisms that they carry themselves, because that's true beauty.
Damn right. Give them
comparing yourself.
Did we get the class on camera, Aisha?
Comparing yourself.
Okay, we'll try to get them on camera so they can, when the brothers are speaking, if we can. Go ahead.
And trying to compare yourselves to the white woman, you're literally throwing yourself downward. You're degrading yourself.
Forget about
They are not attractive at all.
Damn right. That's the Holy Spirit.
We're ready now.
We ready. To Water Warrior, you got it. Get the next one up now.
You go ahead and play the video, Scott.
About white people growing up.
Get the last
I
one
learned,
up.
for example, like white women were just like the ideal. They were the ideal in beauty. They were the ideal in femininity. They were, the ideal that like every man wanted one. And that honestly, like if a black man were good enough, you would know he was good enough because he got a white woman. I do remember, being young, and I mean, while I have braids now, I relaxed my hair straight. I would like pretend to toss my hair and walk and act like a white woman, thinking that that's going to make boys like me. I don't know if y'all ever seen the movie Precious, but there's a part in the movie where she's looking in the mirror and she's daydreaming about being white. I can relate to that, and I cried in the theater because I remember doing that when I was really young.
Marion, you hurt my heart when you were talking about being a little girl and thinking that a white girl was, or white woman was the ideal. That just hurts. That was really pains me.
Stop. It broke her heart.
What did you learn about white people?
White woman heard that out. Broke her heart. That story is as common as the rain falls from the sky. This is what women feel. Women see you when you go to date a white woman and they go, there's no way that I can compete with her. That's what men want. Or to be more specific, that's what a man that can get a white woman wants. Because it's kind of the gauge of your manhood. That's the hole that's in your soul, right? The hole that's in your soul is that you try to work hard enough to the day that you can get a white woman. If you grow higher in society and you get a good enough job and you earn enough money, maybe you could sleep with some piece of garbage that every white man has already had. Now, you think about that, but you don't think about the sister that looks at that and goes, that's the level of beauty. That's what is beautiful. That's what everyone is aspiring to being. And I look in the mirror and that is nothing like me. And it breaks her heart. And now she works her whole life trying to just look like a white woman. When at one time, white women were so intimidated by her that they forced her to hide her hair. Give me the last one. Now, this one, if you want to understand psychological sickness, I'm about to show you a sickness right now. Have you ever heard of the medical disorder? What is it called?
Uncombable hair.
There is a medical disorder that white women can get that is called uncombable hair. Some white women thought that they had it. They went to professionals, hair doctors. I didn't even know that existed. But there's some doctors out there that specialize in white women's hair. And there's a disease called uncombable hair. We're going to introduce you now to a victim, a patient of uncombable hair. Please play.
I have spun glass hair, uncombable hair syndrome.
Okay.
And so that's kind of, I guess, what I want to confirm.
Sure.
And how to take care of it. When I think about hair, I think about stress because it has ruled my life. Just trying to fit in, trying to hide it. The amount of time it sucks out of my day just to feel like I can walk into the room without everybody staring at me.
Oh. Allie? Hi.
Hi.
I'm Dr. Singh. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I love
Awesome.
your hair.
Brother. I needed that. Brother brought me a tissue. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Well, I could barely hold back my tears in that this white woman out is sickened and strucken with having hair like yours. You know what I can't stop thinking about when I watch this is she's walking into an office with a black doctor who has a weave. You understand? Like she's going to this black woman to say, can you please help me to not have hair like you? The black woman is looking at her like, I want hair like you, which is why this ain't my hair. And she's going to her for help. And this woman, because she needs money and has a student loan, has to go, I'm so sorry that you look like me. I'm sorry your hair is like mine. Let me try to help you to not have this type of nigger hair. I know it's terrible. I wear a weave to look like your hair. But I'll help you because student loans are just, $300,000. So, and listen, I don't fault anybody who has to do this because that's how terrible it is to be a doctor. That's how poor you're going to be to go to medical school. It's going to make you poor for 20 years. Barack Obama paid off his student loans while he was president. Go research that. Because if you need a student loan, I don't care if you're the king of the earth, you don't get any money because the student loan takes all of your money. So this woman has to sit in the office all day with white women coming and go, I have uncombable hair. Can you help me? Can you get rid of this? Can you cure this nappy shit in my head? Black woman? That must be terrible. And you have to go, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll help you get rid of those naps. I'll help you get rid of those peas. I don't know why God would have done that to you. That's a rough call or not. Shalad, please. What do you want to say? Microphone.
Shalak, if I may. The sister that walked in with the weave, the white girl said, ooh, I like your hair.
Yes, she did, didn't she? Isn't that something to study, right? That's something to study. I like your hair. Just don't give me that nigga shit. You're supposed to have it. We should study that one day. Go ahead and play her.
Likewise.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. So tell me why you're here.
I have spun glass hair, uncombable hair syndrome.
Okay.
And so that's kind of, I guess, what I want to confirm.
Sure.
And how to take care of it.
Is there more?
I have spun glass hair, uncombable hair syndrome.
Okay.
The same topic. She goes into crying and the black woman says, you do have it. It's right above this one if I sent it to you before.
Gosh, I think you told me to
use it now. I think we need it now. Use that one.
It'll take you a quick second.
No sweat. Yeah, this goes into the black woman just consoling her You do have it. You need help. We'll try to help you with it. She's like, thank you for acknowledging it. Thank you for seeing my pain. Oh, Lord, it's rough out here. I mean, we just in a bad situation. And all you should focus on is this sister who tries everything she can to hide her uncombable hair, to hide it, to act like she doesn't have it. And if she could have the hair of this white woman, she'd pay the Indians $10,000 a year to have this hair. But to this white woman, it's a terrible curse to her to have that hair. Let me know if you need more time. I think that was it.
I just sent it to them. So
Please. 1 second, Chi-Town. We'll play that. And I think that's that. Any last questions I have? I'm going to end the class right after this. All right.
If you want to
go ahead
to circle back, we do have a couple left on Trump.
Which ones?
We got the Greenland, the Gulf of Mexico.
Forget about that. That goes into let me know when Chi-Town's ready. But that goes into the point of how white people are so aggressive, and Trump is the perfect kind of ignorant to be president. You know he's going to invade Greenland. All right. He's going to either buy Greenland or invade Greenland. Now, I'm sure that it's for money, okay? Greenland must have something there that's worth money. I don't know, but I can guarantee that there's something in the ground of Greenland that you can sell for $1. And so because of that, Trump has to have Greenland. But that's less important than why do people support it? Why are people like, yes, I like that? Who knows the answer? Because white people are ignorant, just like Trump. In their mind, it's like, we're taking Greenland. Greenland can't stop us. We're going to take you, Greenland. F you, Greenland. You ours now. That makes every white person feel good about being an American. When he hears it, when he hears like, you know, we're taking Greenland. We're taking the Panama Canal. Yeah. F Panama. We're going to take Panama. We're going to run Greenland. We're going to score touchdowns. We're going to do everything. In their mind, it's like they want to dominate someone. And Trump makes them feel like they're dominating people. They want to become an empire again. So when they hear about Trump taking over Greenland, it's like, that makes me feel good. Why? Because it's violent. And Trump did another stupid thing that does nothing other than make white people feel good, which is changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Now, I'm sure there's money to be gained in that. Okay, I haven't researched it, but I know white people. Somehow changing this name will mean he can drill there or take it, or say he owns it, which means he can drill and make money. But why does the average white man approve of changing the name to the Gulf of America? Because it feels aggressive. It feels like it ain't the Gulf of Mexico. We taking it over. It's the Gulf of America. White people are overly aggressive. Their solution to any problem is violence. And your whole life, you've thought that black people are violent, that Mexicans are violent, Puerto Ricans are violent. You've believed a lie about yourself, told to you by a stranger. He is violent. His whole society is built on violence. He only likes violence. He only enjoys violence. He gets pleasure from violence. And he chose a president who is just as ignorantly violent as he is. Everybody understand? Low entiende. What do you have?
This one ready.
Check this out. That's right. Yeah, because they're devils. Correct. Diablo.
I'm just going to piece through your hair a little bit, okay?
Sure.
What I am seeing is that, yeah, you have a high density of hair, and your hair caliber, as in the hair shaft, it's thicker. It's caused by a mutation in a gene that codes for the hair shaft. The best way to diagnose it is to look at it with electron microscopy to see these characteristic changes with the hair shaft. Okay, so you have that kind of glassy, shiny appearance to the hair.
Looks like it's got gold on it.
Yeah, it does look like a golden kind of sheen around the outside, and then it changes as you go down.
In my adulthood, I actually have not seen a doctor to confirm nor deny what I have, uncombable hair syndrome. So just having a doctor say, yes, it's confirmed, would be so freeing, invalidating, and just all of those good words.
So the uncombable hair syndrome, and I do agree with your diagnosis. And as I was looking at it under the microscope, you can see that kind of glassy look as we looked along your hair shaft. You know, it was glassy. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's just nice to hear it.
Oh, no. You have your hair. Can you sit down? I have something I want to tell you. Please sit down. Your hair is nappy. I'm sorry. It's nappy. I'm sorry. Please sit. Come. Let me hug you. Yo, if she doesn't consciously realize, if the black woman doesn't realize what she's doing, then that's a heavy level of Stockholm syndrome. That you would look at. How do you look at yourself then? Imagine you going to some white man and you going to sit down, Mr. White Man. Your skin is getting darker. I'm sorry. Sorry. Please pray with me. Let me pray with you. Your skin is getting darker. No, yes, I'm sorry. Is your mother here? Is somebody here to get you home? How do you go home and look at yourself? How do you do it? It needs to be studied. Like, she needs to be interviewed. That doctor needs to be interviewed on how she does this and keeps any self-respect, which is the real payment to be accepted into white society. All of you could be accepted into white society. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. You would just have to pay with your self-respect. If you would give up your self-respect, they would allow you to be in their society. They would allow it. But you'd have to give that up. With that said, gracias, giving yourselves a hand. Let me do the announcements. Nosotros somos la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Comenzamos en 1 Oeste Calle 125, Harlem, Nueva York, desde 1969, debajo del mando General Yahana Carnales. Esta es la verdad. Si tú eres hombre hispano, negro o indio nativo, tú eres Israel, el pueblo elegido de Dios. Tu madre y tu padre dicen que somos un culto y mantienen su iglesia pero su iglesia es culpable de todo lo que nos están pasando. Orale. All right, with that, pass the class over to the girls.
Clap it up for the class. Men of Israel, we don't give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Majum, which means to stand. Men of Israel, Amad Shabbat, Majum, Barak, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shah Rakatah. Yasmatah. So, and turn to the sister. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amad Shabbat, Amajum, Barak, Yahweh Shema Atam Bashim, Yahweh Shah. Yasmatah. Class dismissed.